Good morning, and welcome to those of you on YouTube. And I'm going to begin the message today with reading from Isaiah chapter 9 and the first 7 verses. Nevertheless, that time of darkness and despair will not go on forever. The land of Zebulun and Naphtali will soon be humbled, but there'll be a time in the future when Galilee of the Gentiles, which lies along the road that runs between the Jordan and the sea, will be filled with glory. The people who walk in darkness will see a great light, a light that will shine on all who live in the land where death casts its shadow. Israel will again be great. Its people will rejoice as people rejoice at harvest time. They will shout with joy like warriors dividing the plunder. For God will break the chains that bind his people and the whip that scourges them, just as he did when he destroyed the army of Midian with Gideon's little band. In that day of peace, battle gear will no longer be issued. Never again will uniforms be blood-stained by war. All such equipment will be banned. For a child is born to us, a son is given to us, and the government will rest on his shoulders. These will be his royal titles: Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. His ever-expanding, peaceful government will never end. He'll rule forever with fairness and justice from the throne of his ancestor David. The passionate commitment of the Lord Almighty will guarantee this. Thus far. So I'm going to get right into my message today. And by the way, if somehow you think that I was just going to bring a sermonette, bad news, going to get the whole load. So that's the way it is. Just tighten up your seatbelts and away we go. So my message is coming from the prophecy here of the Messiah in the scripture that we've just read. And I have two main thoughts that I wish to cover: the despair and desperation in the darkness, and then second of all, deity and the dispelling of the darkness. Those two things we'll try to cover in the moments ahead. We go first of all to despair and desperation in the darkness. It says the people who walked in darkness. And it moves on to say that there's going to be light, but the people, we're told, were walking in darkness. It was a time of darkness and despair. The darkness spoken of in Isaiah 9 is partially described in the latter part of Isaiah 8. And so I'm going to look at darkness in 3 segments. First, the Isaiah 9 darkness, then the darkness of our last century, and then the present darkness. And so we'll simply look at what the scriptures speak of in terms of the Isaiah 9 darkness. We're told that the people of that day